Welcome back, everyone, to Aces53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. As you know, we took a break the other week. Ed had some things going on. I had some things going on. So we are back in action once again.
Back in the saddle again.
Yes. So I know.
I'm sure you would have said that being from Texas.
Yeah, you know what? I've been in very few saddles in my life. I've rode more mechanical bulls than real horses, and definitely no real bulls.
Yeah, we still sitting in the saddle on one of those.
That is true. That is very true. So anyway, how you been, Ed?
Doing okay. You know, just did a lot of Inner Edison podcasts last week, which I didn't know I had so many.
Yeah.
So, and it was actually nice to slow down on a few other ones, but but this week I'm slammed with them.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
And are you enjoying your retirement from being president?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Enjoying all the accolades. No, just being able to put more time in. I've been listening to Alex Hormozy. I don't know if you listen, and I started listening to The Game, his podcast. Started at the first one and started going back. It's really good. You should listen to it.
Okay.
He talks about all the different stuff, but one of the things he does is his first 5 hours of the day, he doesn't get bothered. And so I've been, instead of a lot of people I know, and I used to get up at 4:30, work out, all that stuff. Now I get up and I work for 5 hours and then go do what I need to do and then finish it up into the day. But that way I get no one bothers me for that period of time. I can get it done, So I do have a 8:30 video thing I have to do every morning, but that's pretty much, so it's about 4.5 hours. So
that's something I'm bad about. Years ago, a book that really helped me out a lot, The 4-Hour Work Week with Tim Ferriss, where he talked about
the other day.
What's that?
I was listening to that the other day.
Oh yeah, that was
a great
updated,
revised version.
I have not seen that one.
It's still an older one.
It's still older.
It's still, there's nothing new.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you were saying?
Email batching. That was a concept I'd never heard of until him. And for anybody who doesn't know what that is stop getting up and immediately checking your emails or responding to emails come in. So he started checking them, I think 3 to 4 times a day. He would do 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., and I think something like 6 o'clock. But it allows you to be in proactive mode instead of a response mode. And training from my former career was you had to keep an eye on emails. They want us to respond within a certain period of time. And you couldn't get anything done because you're getting email after email and you're stopping and trying to run back and forth between things. And it was just ridiculous. So I am bad about, I get up and I delete all the crap I got overnight. But I need to start going back to batch emailing, only checking it at certain days. And to your point, using the do not disturb, setting up a few people who can sneak through that. And a lot of people are doing are you familiar with the Pomodoro technique?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to him. So of course Well,
I didn't know. Did he have the Pomodoro technique?
He talked about it. Yeah. He talked about it on this one. I don't know if he didn't talk about it on his first one, but he talked about it on this one.
Yeah. Somebody just reminded me of it the other day because I have Momentum, the app for Chrome that you can put on, that you can set your goals, and then you can say work for 45 minutes, take a break for 15 minutes, or whatever mathematical calculation you want. And that seems to work better because then it's just focused on one thing. I'm easily distracted, a little ADD squirrel, so I need to find more and more tools. I've even gone back to just old school writing my to-do list down at night so that during the day I get them done, because I kept putting them in Apple Notes and then never looking at them.
Yeah, but you have Gmail, right? You use Gmail, don't you? Yeah, just have them as a task on Gmail. It's on every phone. But let me add this to because that's what he told everybody to do. But then in the new version, he talked about how somebody went to him and sent him a thing and said, hey, by the way, Outlook allows you to stop your email and only have it delivered at certain times.
Oh,
and he also said, and then if you're replying back to assistants and staff and everything, and if it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but you don't really want them to look at until the morning, you can set it up to hit them in the morning at 8 a.m. and not at the time that you send it.
Yeah. I've done that one where do not send till 8 a.m. tomorrow, because if something pops my mind, I know it's a weekend or whatever, then rather than saying, don't look at this till Monday, just say, okay, deal with my ADD, but do it on your schedule.
Right.
Be respectful.
Sorry, I got a tri-tip on the.
Oh, you need to go check on it?
No, I just was checking. That's why I put my phone up to check to see what the temperature was, making sure there's no problem.
So you and I were talking ahead of time in the 1 week break. We both kind of ran across some new revelations of things. You want to start with yours?
I need to make more money.
No. Well, yeah, that's everybody's revelation.
No, the revelation is to stop bitch. Well, one of the things I started doing, and I stopped listening to Fox News Business, even though I really like that. I went back to CNBC, which they don't have such political take on things as like each of the other stations. Yeah. Even though I like certain people on the other one. Yeah. But that's one of the things, just so I can give me the news and I'm done. And then the other thing is been talking to a lot of people and have come, and it's came up many times that a few of the last podcast guests have really niched down who their perfect client is and has changed drastically how they do everything. Yeah. We talk about it all the time. We talk about it on here, and we talk to people on here who say they have, and we tell them they haven't. And we tell them you need to do more. And even myself, making major changes to just focus on what my perfect client is, which is, I have two markets I really enjoy, which is veterans, because I am one, and reverse mortgage to help. And both of them have to do with dignity. One is because we served, and the other one is because they need help so that they can live the rest of their lives as comfortable as possible.
Nice.
Is that what you're talking about? Is that what
you were talking about niching down, and
I'm not going to get into everything I'm doing because that's, too personal.
No, that was just the one tip we're going to share today is that you've been talking to more people, and then you've realized that you've implemented it, and then you've done that a variety of ways, right? You've cut back on podcasts, radio shows, and things. So what you're seeing is as more you dial in more
quality, more quality. No more. I mean, we did, and that was the one thing that if you listen to Alex from Rosen, I know I sound like a broken record. I sound like you now, dropping names all the time. He talks about how, just they did so much in the beginning, and now they only do. It's about quality and making sure that that's what you do, even though they're dropping 50 pieces a day.
Yes.
They're still, it's not, and that's nothing to them, but that's also adds everything else. So right. It just depends on what you're doing. And it's going to stop. And the reason I brought up the whole Fox News and stuff is it's got to get to a point where everybody stop worrying about what's happening out there and just go make some money.
Yeah.
Because the people who have money, they don't care who's in power.
Yeah. There's there's a saying, when somebody asked Lamborghini why they don't advertise on TV, they said, because we don't think the people that buy our stuff really spend much time on the television. That's why they don't do commercials.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing. Just focus on what you want, who your ideal customer is, and not try to be everything to everyone. Now, with that being said, there is the opposite of that is you still need to have omnipresence, and that is be visible on every platform you can, but only chase.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think you should go find the ones that you really like and double down on those.
True.
I think YouTube and TikTok. You like Instagram. It's okay. I like YouTube and TikTok. I like the fact that you can search. And I like on YouTube. That's all it's about. People are searching, Google searching, and my stuff's coming up. I'm getting so many people now because of all my reviews and videos and everything I'm doing through Google that and then if they, on TikTok, they find me on that because of the scroll. So.
Yeah. See, for Instagram, like you said, that's the one for me. TikTok is growing. I think I went from 4,000 to 23,000 in the last
6 months from now. You're going to go, I understand what you're talking about, Ed. Instagram's good, but it's not the best thing.
I still like putting it everywhere because you never know what's going to hit. Like, it's interesting.
You can, but if you're everywhere, you're not reaching everybody.
Agreed. But what you don't know
of the people out there,
where's your ideal audience?
Here, I'm going to say this. I know, but only 10% of the people out there are producing content.
Well, I didn't even think it was that high, but yeah.
That's of all the people on that stuff.
Yeah.
Only 10% of them is what you're watching. And some of those are from bots and other stuff. Am I getting excited? But I'm just saying,
I can tell.
I'm just so people like, oh, this is only what 10% of the population thinks. And that could be part of that 10% is of maybe the world. You know what I mean? We're talking to other countries.
Well, here's where I'll agree to disagree with you. And that is, I think people get loyal to one platform and they think, oh, well, the other ones won't help me. If you're going to take the time to post on one, you can easily replicate that to the other ones. Now, like for me, LinkedIn is not picking up. There's I think 500 followers on LinkedIn, 1,600 on YouTube, 23,000 on TikTok, and I should cross 150,000 on Instagram this week. But those other ones still aren't picking up. But I feel like it'd be a detriment for me not to post it. I already have the post ready. I already have the notes. Why not take 5 extra minutes and knock out those other platforms? Not saying focus on them, create it for one platform, but paste it to the other ones.
No, I didn't say LinkedIn. I'm always on LinkedIn because that's a business site. You have to be on LinkedIn. You have to put everything on LinkedIn. You really should double down on LinkedIn because that's where all the business people are.
Right.
TikTok, Instagram, and those places. These are people who could utilize your services, but the big people who could actually buy your services are on those on that platform. And that's like, I'm going to say it again, like you do, Alec Hermosi. You like that one?
I actually say his name correct, but
I said it wrong again. So,
yeah, that's all right.
What is it?
Hormozi.
Hermosi. Yeah. What did I say?
Hormozi. You said Hermosi.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a redneck. Deal with it.
Well, okay. I have a funny story about him.
We'll get to your story in a second.
Yeah.
What was I talking about before you interrupted me?
LinkedIn. That's where you go for everything.
Right. But if you really want to help if you want to, so just like you said about Lamborghini, right? Mm-hmm. You should only focus on the clients who you can help. Like if you really want to help make money and you want to help rich people, then help them save time.
Right.
And charge them double. They'll pay for it. They're the ones who have the money, and people try to sell something to everybody. You can't.
Right.
I had this, one of these agents brought in a client to my office. I'm sitting there and I'm going through the stuff, and the guy starts talking, answering my question. And he starts going down this rabbit hole. And I said, no, let's come back, blah, blah, blah. And, I kept bringing him back to the table to where we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, the agent was like, I didn't like the way you talked to your client. He couldn't get certain things out of blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm trying to focus him on what we're trying to do here. I don't need the story on, tell me what time it is, not how you made the clock.
Right.
Yeah. Keep them posted on time. And even the same guy talks about, that's what, set expectations with the people you deal with. Mm-hmm. When you come in and you tell them, hey, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money for the company and do really well for you. And if if that's what your goal is. And, when someone comes to you and says, hey, they start telling you this whole story and just, excuse me, I don't need the story. Just tell me how I can help you.
Yeah.
People get upset about that stuff.
They do, because people think you have to know the full background when you don't. I used to be really bad, one of those people, but you're right. It's just like, okay, bare basics. What do we need to move forward? You can tell me the story later on.
Yeah. My wife always, don't mansplain it. I'm like, okay, so I should womansplain it. Okay. I'm sorry, that's what my wife does. She'll start a conversation. My kids will make fun of her all the time. And then she's like, okay, but, and then you're waiting. Are you going to, hold on. I'm going to finish this.
Now, back to LinkedIn. What I did notice is LinkedIn is the opposite of all the other platforms, meaning I see people post a lot of pictures and articles versus very few videos. And if they are videos, they're super short clips, like not even 60 seconds, at least of the people I'm following. Now, maybe that's just my own algorithm leads that it's taking me to, but it seems like TikTok, Instagram, obviously under 60 seconds. TikTok will sometimes reward you for more than 60 seconds. YouTube, you either do a short 60 seconds or you do long form. But LinkedIn, I see a lot more posts and articles, whatever you want to call it. Don't see those getting any traction on Instagram or TikTok. Like if you post just a picture, people are like, next. So it is interesting how the different platforms, like I said, are rewarding it again. And while we're talking about new platforms, so there are 2 new ones that are out there that are kind of like Clubhouse back in the day. And I'm kind of watching those from afar, and I honestly forget to log into them.
Have I heard of them? What are they called?
I don't think so. One of them was invite only up until last week. Let me see if I can remember the name.
Did you know True Social now has it? We're going to be able to go live on it.
I did not know that. Let me see what they are called. One is, I think, Chatter. Let me find them here. Clapper is one. That one was a Dallas-based one. And then the other one that I recently joined is Chatter. So Chatter is one. Some people that were heavy into Clubhouse back in the day started that one back up. I got into it and played around it a few times before I left to go out to Europe, and I haven't gotten a chance to really dial into it. My problem is I don't know where my time during the day goes. I'm like, oh, well, I'll check out this, I'll check out that. And then next thing I know, it's dark. I'm like, what did I accomplish today? Hence needing a to-do list.
I don't know. Wait, a to-do list is only what you write down what you're going to do.
Yes.
Most people use it as a list of things they need to do that they're not going to get to. So your to-do list is what you need to get to today, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there was a company that came out in our industry, I think probably another industry, is by noon was what they were called. It was a calendar set up to get everything done by noon, and then you had the afternoon to do all the other stuff.
See, I get my mornings more consist of like get up, get coffee, and go to Opus Clips, find one of the videos, take it down, write up a blog on it, and then find the B-roll footage. Their B-roll footage doesn't help me as much. Then that usually takes me half an hour to an hour, depending on it.
Sorry.
And then I'm like,
did you say you just hired a VA because you're wasting our time?
I don't feel like a VA can do what I do yet.
You're wrong. They're only as good as what you train them to do.
Yes.
That was the 4-hour guy with his update stuff was talking about how he did it. And then at first it was, but he's had ones that were horrible, and you have to train them, and over time it will get better. You need ones that have teams so that when they're not there, it's all taken care of. It's us. We're the problem.
100% agree.
Younger people are like, I don't care.
See, there's a part of me that enjoys doing the content part.
Which would you rather do, cash checks or keep doing the content stuff?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I need to hire a VA more to chase speaking gigs, things of that nature.
Well, you need to do both.
Right.
Because we both need to do, even myself, I'm going, okay, this is it. I'm done. This is the last month I'm doing this. It is going to be off my calendar next month.
Yeah.
Because I'm good at it. We're both, but it's not what we're best at. We're doing $25 an hour stuff when we should be doing thousands of dollars an hour stuff.
Right.
And you need to niche down who your client is.
That is very true.
Shut up, Ed. I know who my client is. It's everybody.
I will agree to
everybody who has eyes.
Yeah, everyone who has a face. Like today, I enjoyed. I got to speak. Well, not today. Yesterday. See, my days all run together. I'm still sleep deprived. Like jet lag is kicked in.
Okay, I get it. It was on Monday.
Yeah, and but I got to speak to a local school district, and it was what they call a convention day, not convention day, conviction day. So I think it's called conviction day. Anyway, it's the first day where all the teachers come in, the principals, the superintendents, everyone, and they all meet, and they kind of kick things off for the year. So we got to hear like what's their plan for 24, 25. They had the cheerleaders, they had the band there. They made a big hurrah, welcomed back all the teachers and stuff. And I got to talk for about an hour and a half, and it was a lot of fun. That's one of those that even if I niche down, I still would want to be able to do things like that I know may not pay the most, but the payoff for the people who are in there.
That's you're not hearing me. Okay. Your client, your perfect client is who you target for all your marketing and everything you do. Okay. That's all you focus on. Everything you send them. That's it.
Yeah.
You're going to still get other stuff.
Yes.
I'm not saying I can't help you. I can't. That's not what I'm saying. You just say,
focus
on this. That's all you focus on. The other stuff you still do. The fun stuff you do. That no one says you can't do other speaking gigs in other places that has nothing to do with your perfect client, just to get better at things.
Yeah,
and that's about repetition and doing more talking, and that was like the quantity I did, right? Of all the videos, thousands and thousands of videos I've done over the last 3 to 5 years, was all about learning how to do it and get good at it. Now it's all about what's my hooks, what's this, what's quality,
what captures the audience's attention, right?
Get to my perfect client only.
So, see, I feel like I've gotten that figured out to a degree. On Instagram, TikTok is getting there. YouTube, I'm still clueless on the thumbnails.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is, don't worry about what you're hitting on your metrics.
Yeah.
But you need to go, who is my perfect clients? Let's just say it was car dealerships and their salespeople. Well, that's LinkedIn. So you focus on all the people who run those things in the sales department, and you focus and send. There's strategic stuff you can do, and you can ask a good friend of yours how to do that or introduce you to some of these people. But that's basically they're the ones who are going to have the money, because people are going to be they always have to sell cars. They're always face to face. But are you selling? Which the other thing is, which car dealerships do you work with? Do you work with the used car dealership?
Just Vespas. I only want to specialize in Vespas.
But I'm just saying, it's got to be a price point that makes sense for people. And, some people do it as an emotional basis. That's great. That's the purchase they're doing. Well, you also want to be able to talk to people and give them the news that they need one way or another. And that's all the way to the service department, like you talked about earlier.
Right.
And you just need to focus on who that is. And, yes, there's nothing wrong with still doing traffic conversion if you ever got that choice, or, or being an MC for somebody. There's nothing wrong with practice.
100% agree.
But if you go after your perfect client, you're going to have enough money to go, I'm going to give back over here and do this. But if you have to, but don't let all this other stuff take you away from that perfect client that you need to figure out who that is.
I have a few ideas.
Because it's not,
sorry,
as your business, it's not TikTok and it's not what's on Instagram.
Agreed. That's just learning to nail down the message.
Well, that's really to sell to the masses a book or how to, certain things that you have, or a course. But really, who's really wants this is salespeople. How do you get to the salespeople that you want to talk to? That's the question.
Yeah, salespeople and executives. Like executives, why? Well, number one, I want to be speaking at presidents clubs more often. I went with Janine Driver 2 weeks ago. No, I've been gone for 2 weeks. 3 weeks ago to an executive retreat, and they're always in nice places at cool hotels. So I'm thinking, this is a better way to do it.
Well, because you're teaching them how to save time and money by learning how to speak to people and be able to get the bigger numbers. And so maybe, and this is just, please don't take this wrong, people, that I'm trying to take everybody. Maybe it's you find out that level of who these people are that you want to hit, that you can, hit them with a $10,000 course for, or whatever you sell them, that they don't even bat an eye, because that's a drop in the bucket for the amount of time and what they're selling.
Exactly. Or it's part of their budget item. That's one of the things I've learned through this part is there's different ways to find out a corporation. There's a lot of people who throw an event. That's a one thing. They know they have a budget of X amount for an event to speak at. However, corporations have huge budgets that goes towards, okay, they can buy you're buying your books as a separate budget from buying the courses or buying you as a speaker or whatever. That's why I think corporations are more of what I'm going to focus on in the end of 2024 and 2025.
Why are you waiting?
No, I'm starting right now. So that's what I'm saying is I haven't been doing that till now. Now I've been chasing just the speaking circuit and kind of following the people that some of it's repeating history. Like I'm speaking at 2 events in September.
The only reason you're doing all the speaking you're doing is to get as good as you're getting.
Exactly.
That's why, because we know how we both were in the beginning.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you heard I said we both were. I didn't say you. I said we both.
I know. I remember you with the dry mouth.
Well, that was freaking after COVID, dude. Oh no, that other one was just I had no water. I was like, God,
yeah. Well, it's funny. I thought about that event because I was in which airport? Chicago airport 2 days ago, and somebody knocked over their water bottle. It reminded me of being at the Speakeasy in Austin when they got everybody the water bottles, and they just kept falling over. Clink, 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 clink.
Yeah, they just fell over.
Yep. So, I know we're going to keep this one short today, but one of the other things that I learned kind of in the break that we had is I would wake up early. We were in Italy for almost 2 weeks, and I'd wake up early while everybody was still sleeping. And I know we've talked about haters or helpers, responding back to haters and everything else. But I started just responding back to everybody's comments. Hey, thanks for this. Hey, that you name it. And again, big jumps and spikes. So it added several thousand followers. Because when people see that you'll respond back to them, sometimes it's a DM, sometimes it's a response to the comment, sometimes it's telling somebody how stupid they are. But what I'm seeing is that does create traction with the algorithm. So before we talked about don't just ignore your haters, but also be kind to the people who are taking their time to share anything on your wall, because it does leave positive effects. Of number one, we all remember when we were excited that anybody answered us. And so it's the same, giving it back just like you received it at one time from someone else. You and I have been very lucky in that we've gotten to meet a lot of speakers and people and things like that that give very positive feedback, answer their own DMs, you name it. When you do that for people, it does something. It does something for the person you're talking to. It does something, the algorithm likes it. So why not keep doing it?
Well, I never said not to comment, back to them.
Oh, no,
a lot of it, when I say engage the haters, I mean don't ignore anybody.
Agreed. I'm just saying we used to just focus on.
I do ignore those ones trying to sell me courses, though, and tell me how they can do better for me. Those ones.
I look right now of all the crap that comes in my spam DMs and everything. I look, and sure enough, if they have like 12 posts and 400,000 followers, I just respond back, not interested. And I delete them. But if they keep coming back, I'm like, I'm not going to buy followers. So it's just, I immediately look, if you're leaning on a sports car, pretending to walk onto a jet, or on vacation, I know you're full of it, and I just delete.
No, I constantly get hit up. Hey, we saw this and we can do better for you. I'm sure you can,
Yes.
but I'm not going to go to somebody who comes to me. I need to find somebody else. So thank you.
Exactly. I want referrals, not someone that's being found. But I mean, there are some amazing people that will one day be, growing and things like, look at Ryan Majin. And, when he started, he was one of the first ones to help people with TikTok videos. And I think he charged a very, very low fee compared to what his fees are today, because he was hungry and he was new on TikTok. And look at what he's growing with and who he's working with now is pretty amazing. He actually might be a good, we'll have to reach out to him and have him on as a joker one day, because I think his level of knowledge on shorts and video and, how to create TikTok or content that goes viral would be invaluable for everyone.
Yeah. And that's if that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Again, it depends on who your client is, because there are some people who post stuff and they get 100 likes or whatever, and and that's all they need, because they're 4,000 people is their clients, and they get everything from them. They don't need 4 million, and they don't need 20 million people. They
right.
have the fully engaged people.
There was someone I was looking up today. So there's another speaker that's local. So she's got 824 posts and 2,500 followers. Now that's on Instagram. However, on LinkedIn, she's killing it, and they sell out all of their training, all of their courses. They get hired as keynote speakers. So to your point, it's not always about the number of followers you have. It's, are you attracting the right kind of followers?
Right. And what I would tell you to do is find out what they're doing and do the same thing on LinkedIn.
That's why I need to follow them on LinkedIn. I need to steal them, stalk them, and
not
steal.
Stealing. There's AI that you can use to tell you exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. So, but you're right, and that's why I wanted to bring that up. Is there are people, we talk a lot about how do you increase your following and things of that nature. But that's to help you perfect your message. The rest is vanity metrics. They're fun numbers to say, but it doesn't always mean anything at all.
Yeah. So, if you're hitting your perfect client, you'll get enough of them.
Exactly.
That you need to move forward. And that's what I think people are so worried about. If I do my perfect client, I'm not going to have enough people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that, it doesn't work that way. You got to niche down. And that's just amazing how much that popped up last week over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And that's why I kind of want to talk about it today.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. There was somebody, I can't remember I did one of those 3-day, God, I'm still jet lagged, 3-day challenges. And that's what they says. You really need to focus on having a higher end product at first to make your business sustainable. And then when you do that, you can go and create lower end products to help people after that. But you have to first get to a place of progress, growing your business, stability, you name it, ideal clients, then you can go and help more. So a lot of people are that way too. Martha, who we both know, was on a mastermind I was in, and we were talking about one-to-one coaching or one-to-many. And she's a huge fan of one-to-many. She goes, I tried one-to-one. I now do one-to-many. I want to be able to help a lot of people at one time with one content. Maybe, they don't pay as much, but I'm helping more people all at one time. So people have to figure out for their specific business, is it a one-to-one? Like Jimmy, who we had on before we left, so 2-3 weeks ago, his is, he does offer courses and like where you can come down to Dallas and learn how to tell your story. But he then offers one-to-one to help people really refine their specific message that much deeper. So it makes sense for him to have both of those two options. Some people I met only do one-to-one coaching. They will never do a, group coaching, anything like that. So everybody's just got to figure out, like you said, what's your ideal client?
Who is your ideal client? Plus, I also heard people go, if you sell it for this, increase it 20% next time, and then increase it more again, and then again and again until you get to a point where people didn't buy it at that price point. Then you can go back to the price point before and still make enough money.
So this is my ADD squirrel working in full effect. We never went back to the Alex Hormozy story. Met Alex in 2021.
Sorry, was it Hormozy or Homozy?
Hormozy.
Hormozy.
Oh, did I? Yeah. So
it's not easy to remember.
That's right. That was 2021's when Janine Driver gave up 15 minutes of her time for me to speak ever on stage. And Alex was there, but nobody knew who he was. He hadn't written $100 million offers, $100 million sales. And this guy was up there and he had really good information, but he had the pictures like he has in the book. I'm like, who is this dude? You know, obviously buff as hell. People are like, oh no, he's super successful. You would never have known it because I came from corporate America. Oh, the fancier the graphics, the more, you know, intelligent somebody is. So he had very simple stuff, but it was easy to follow. Had no idea who that was in the room. And then 6 months later, his book comes out and you find out everything he's done. And you're like, damn, I'm glad I took notes from that guy, but I would have taken better notes had I known who he was.
It's amazing how much he made with his gym launch and everything he is doing now and everything else. So,
yeah. Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of parallels in the stories of the people that are out there, you know, with him, his business partner ripping him off, him being flat broke. You know, there's the part in his book. Yeah, a few times. Right. And then Russell Brunson, same thing, right? With the potato guns and his funnels. And it is interesting to see how many people that are out there. A lot of times social media only focuses on the success. I do enjoy, to your point with Internet, when people share the failures so that if you fail, you don't feel alone.
Yeah, you have to share those to help people.
Right.
If you're not sharing, well, you're not either learning or winning.
Right. Exactly. And Patrick Bet Davis, I think is his name. He just did a post about that. He's like, you know, you really need to invest in yourself first. And he talked about how many times he was $50,000 in credit card debt with negative 700 in his bank account. And he almost gave up. And he said, you know, when I got to that close is when things took off. And when you hear those things, it's great because people only see where people are today, not where they came from.
Yeah, because a lot of people today, young people today, would freak out and couldn't handle that. But you know, that's how you make diamonds.
Yep.
Pressure.
100%. So,
all right. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm done. My jet lag is starting. Okay. I've had 2 cups of coffee and it's not helping.
Yeah, I can see your eyes.
Yeah,
I'm ready, man.
Yeah,
that's about how I had a bowl. If I would have known I was going to be talking, I wouldn't have drank that much.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here today. We really appreciate you. We enjoy doing this. If you have any questions or comments, please just leave them here. Let us know, and we'll get back to you. Best thing you can do for us is subscribe to our podcast or whatever it's called, Aces53, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.